I will be turning this coil of tubing into these lovely hula hoops. They are made from the finest material called polypropylene, and they are ranging at the lovely 5/8 size. And here we go. Now this is a video logging my process of making hula hoops personally. This is my first round making hula hoops, and this was super fun. And if you were following along and would like to know how to make some hula hoops, here are the materials that you need. You will need the coil of tubing, whichever you prefer. In this video I am using the polypro material, but there are several different other kinds of material that you can use for your tubing. You also will need the measuring tape, the drill, a rivet gun, a hacksaw or a Dremel, you'll see why. You'll also need the rivets and a push button. And these are all the materials that you will need to make your very own hula hoops. So I ordered this tubing from Colorado Hula Hoops. They actually have their own store section on Amazon, so I was able to order right through Amazon. This is the natural 5/8 polypro coil of 100 feet. And the shipping was pretty quick. Watch the spiral. Whoosh. I thought that was a little cool looking. But yes, so order has been great. I highly recommend Colorado Hula Hoops for your finest tubing. And a little slinky action. Now you're going to need a measuring tape, and I highly recommend using a flexible, soft kind of measuring tape, not the metal one or a stick where it's hard to bend. You want it to be able to lay flat against the surface of the tubing. And now to calculate the size hula hoop you'd like. So whatever size diameter that you know you want, let's go for instance this 30 inches. Say you want a hula hoop with a diameter of 30 inches. To calculate the circumference of the hula hoop, you're going to need to multiply 30 by pi, which is 3.14. So you multiply that and it comes to 94.2, so that's the inches. And to get the feet, you divide it by 12, which is 7.85. And to find how many inches exactly the 0.85 are, you can Google how many inches 0.85 of a foot is, and it converts it right there in a table for you, so you know exactly how much to measure. I also want to talk about how the end of the coil here was a straight tube, and so I highly recommend cutting that straight part off right there. That way you're left with the circular part of the tubing and not a straight tube that won't go circular. Now you have an odd shaped hula hoop. And so I move into the measuring of the tubing, make sure I have it all measured out correctly for the size hoop that I'd want, and then I get into the cutting. So I did at first use a hacksaw to cut this tubing, and this is sped up, but as you can see, it's taking me quite some time to be able to cut through this tubing with this hacksaw. And so I did that for the first tube, and then you want to be able to, you get your inner connector piece that is a little bit smaller size of tubing. So I cut that with the hacksaw as well, and to get that in, and I'll be able to connect the hula hoops together with that tubing. And it did also come with the order of this coil that I ordered from Colorado Hula Hoops. So you're able to push the connector piece inside both ends and they snap together like so. And so I learned very quickly that hacksaw was not the way, and so I started using a Dremel to cut the rest of the tubing, which worked out a lot easier than that hacksaw. I do want to say I noticed I accidentally slid this connector piece a little too far into the one side, and I want to be able to have enough space to drill the hole for the snap button. in there, so I just need to wedge it out a little bit and continue the way. So do just keep that in mind when you are putting these connector pieces on the inside of the tube. You don't want it to be too far on one side, obviously. Just thought I'd mention that. It did make a lot of like rough edges, a lot more than the hacksaw, I can say, but most of it does rip off, and I'll be able to grind that down when all is said and done. So no worries on that, because it does work a lot easier. And now it's time to drill the holes. So I started with drilling the holes for the rivets to connect the inner connecting tube together, and I started with using a very small drill bit just to get the hole formed, because I want this to be precise. And then you work your way up and then put the rivet gun in there, and it was very simple, just squeezing the thing and letting the rivet set in place, and then doing that on both sides. And then time to put in the snap button, and the snap button has a little bit bigger of a hole than the rivets did, so definitely worked my way up more with drilling the hole so that it would be a perfect hole to be able to slide the snap button right in there. And voila! We have a hula hoop, a collapsible hula hoop with a snap button. So they can be easily put into a bag or easily shipped in a package, be transported a lot more easily. And there we have it. We have made hula hoops from just a coil of plastic. Super fun to do, super simple and super easy. And now just waiting on the tape to come in so I can wrap them up with some colorful tape and some reflective tape as well. Just waiting on that to come in. So if you enjoyed this video and you're interested to see more, subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for the next video that I will post about taping hula hoops. Be sure to like the video as well if you have not done so already. And thank you for tuning in.